Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and welcome to another park tour. As today we are looking at DTE Diamond Towers Park. It is created by Tin Man 1848, or that's the PlayStation name, but a lot of you may know him as Diamondite on YouTube. So make sure to go check out his YouTube channel, as he does a really great job, as I think this is his second or third full park. I can't remember to be exact, but it is definitely based on realism, and the level of detail is really impressive on this coaster. So I'm really excited to check it out and give you guys my feedback. But also, the quick description is: hello, everyone. This is my second official Planet Coaster Park. Well, I guess that's the answer right there. And the DTE chain, complete with 6 coasters, numerous flat rides, 3 different areas, and many other activities. Everything in this park is created by me, except for the gift shop items by Tommy P. and custom lettering by Tommy P. and Poops It Out. There are shoutouts to numerous friends and fellow members of the Planko community. Ride all coasters in front bumper. Finally, subscribe to Diamondite on YouTube. Enjoy. So he definitely gives a lot of shoutouts throughout the park. So as you can kind of see some of the cinematics, really cool coaster and a really good park. And I'm ready to get started. So let's start the tour. So before we get started actually looking around flip cam mode, which you guys know is kind of one of the things I like to do now, is let's kind of just get an overview of kind of the map. So you can see, well, we're actually at 86%, as you can't see it on the screen right now, but, you know, taking up a good bit of the map. The only thing I maybe say right away, and one thing I've tried to get better at, is maybe, you know, doing a little bit different with the terrain here to make it look a little bit more realistic with these mountains. And I'll maybe show a little bit at the end on what you can do with that. If anybody's interested, and I am by no means perfect, but it's just a little something you could do just to kind of add to that. And I wonder what time of the day we're at right now. 11 o'clock. All right. Usually it's like 12 to 4. I feel like it's the best time to look at stuff. So we'll go in between. And as you can see, there are 6 coasters in this park, and each one I'm actually got some information pulled up that Diamondite sent to me to kind of give me some descriptions on both of them. And the park it's actually a pretty small park in general when you just look at the layout of it. But this, I've taken a look around, and I mean, the architecture here is just beautiful. It's amazing. And let's look at the parking lot before we get started, which just kind of reminds me a little bit of the parking lot I had in Three Towers. He's just done a better job of it than I have, for sure. And so, like, you know, good job here, kind of having your exit way this way. You know, interesting using the metal alloy roof. One thing one thing I've used that I started like using for it. Wow, I can't speak today. Let me retry that, Michael. You're turning into Maddie all of a sudden. If Maddie's watching this, love you, Maddie. No, I like using the firehouse roof, and it says subscribe to Diamondite on YouTube, and I love these billboards. And so that's one thing that you'll see throughout part of the park, is really done a good job of really advertising for his park and stuff. And I mean, great look at that RMC around the parking lot here. Just really good job mixing up the trees, blocking the line of sight, making it look realistic. But then one thing that I really like over here is there's kind of 2 entryways. So this entryway says pass holders parking. So if you got like a season pass, a summer pass, whatever it is, you can go over this way. And I think he said this is the second park in his DTE kind of theme park chain. Now, the only thing I'd say here is there's a lot of kind of unused space there in the middle, so I probably would have tried to kind of configure the layout of the parking just a little bit. But we can see some creators' names here: Nerd Chacho, Geki Squad, TJ Puffs, Clary Bread, and of course the creator himself, Diamondite. And there's his car. Don't you wish we had better cars in this game? Because you should be driving the luxury car into your park, driving in on a Lambo or something. Chrissy P, Poops It Out, Web Gaming. So it's reserved for some of those creators. And I mean, just right away, look here at the entrance. This is beautiful. I'm using these temple wall pieces, but coloring it gray just looks phenomenal. Wow, this looks amazing. So let's go ahead and hop into flip cam mode. No, let's not click on a kid. And get started with this. So now the only thing Oops, sorry about that, man. I was trying to get the HUD off the screen and then accidentally clicked on something. There we go. Now, the only suggestion I'd have right here is I would lower this a little bit. And I would lower it all in general because I think it's just a little bit too high because it's more like a big ledge instead of like a sidewalk, right? So you want to keep it pretty low to the ground where it's maybe ankle height. But I love using these Victorian kind of roof tiles for this entryway or this plaza. And I mean, just look at the detail here. Really amazing job. Absolutely love this entrance. And then right there you can see the dive coaster. Like this is just perfect. Absolutely love it, man. You have knocked this out of the park. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful entrance to the park right here. And it says visit Lilac or Lithic Mountains. I believe that was your first park. I'll be honest, I watched Maddie's review on it. I can't believe I never actually downloaded that, so I really apologize. But Maddie did a great review on it. Here's the tickets: $50 for adult, $35 for child. That's right in line with kind of Cedar Fair style parks. Men and women's bathroom over here. I mean, the views of that dive coaster is just awesome. And is this supposed to... Oh, so that's supposed to be like park maps and stuff. That's a really cool touch. So now let's actually enter the park. And I've seen, I think it's Coaster Freak 90 did something like this too. But one thing that's been added on there is taking... I don't want to click off of flip cam mode, but there's actually a lit up sign there at the bottom that he's placed to kind of give it that kind of little light at the footer of it. And then you got your little bag check area there. Looks really cool. And now we come into the main entry plaza. And this is really, really nice. Just carrying on with the same building style. That blue looks awesome, how it kind of shines right there. And you've also got the name of all the coasters. So we got 3 coasters to the left, 3 to the right. Add those up, you get 6. Basic math. Gosh, I'm so weird sometimes. I guess when you're talking to yourself for like an hour, you just got to come up with stuff. So here we go, the gift shop. Now, I did say some stuff in the gift shop is by some other creators. Like I know these are by Tommy P. Shirts might be by Tommy CM, maybe. But I know there's some things in here from Tommy P. and a couple other creators. He credited it in the description. We got guest services. Love this here. Now, I do want to come back here on the end and show something because I think these just need to be pushed up just a little bit. And I'll show what I'm talking about in a little bit. So hopefully I remember to do that. But I really like let's see what the kind of... Yeah, and they're a little bit too bright. So I'm going to show you in a little bit kind of how I would approach this because I think you've done a good job with it. I just think there's a couple things you could do to make it just a tad bit better there. Pass holder purchases, okay. So let's left, right, left, right, left, right. Getting you guys sick. Woo! Let's go this way. I'm going to start going to the right all the time now because it seems like everybody goes to the left. And being here in America, we drive on the right side of the road. No pun intended. But we also do a lot of things really strange. Like, why do we not use the metric system? All right, Lakeside Cove. Which this little building is nice. Just the extra detail on the edge looks good. And like I said, I mean, I love this building. I love the architecture here. Like, you've just done such a good job mixing different building pieces. And it just looks awesome. Like, to me, this is a huge step up from your first park and then that park you're working on the YouTube series. I don't think you fully completed it, but that park was really good too. But this is just so well done. It's given me some inspiration for, different types of building pieces I could use. We got a restaurant here. Okay, you did put the signs. Oh, what happened there? Oh, they just kind of walked through the wall. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. You just walk through the wall like that. I would just place down those barriers to make sure nobody does that. So if we head this way, Lakeside Cove. Yeah, so at the end there's a couple little tidbits I'm going to show, as I said, to kind of give a few hints on a couple things, but this is really good, man. That looks really well done. And so I wonder, definitely looks like a custom inversion. So that's called Riptide. Oh, you know what? The way you've done this, it kind of gives me powered by Mavs Fam 4. So I wonder what here is made by Mavs Fam 4. That's what I wonder. But Mavs does amazing work with the signs. Oh gosh, that is such a cool view how those coasters get really close. This kind of reminds me of Nerd Chacho's, not his latest park, but the park before when he did the flying coaster. And he has like the entrance in a totally different spot and kind of loops back around. So powered by Jinx. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So I'll be honest, I don't know what that means when you're saying powered by Jinx. Like, the sign. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's the name of the sign. That's what it's got to be. Riptide. That is a cool font download. I need to download that font. And I'll see if you can send me the link to what the font or name of the font, and I'll try to put that in the description. So nice queue. Once again, let me just see. Yeah, still just a little bit bright. It's like I said, that's one little hint and tip I'm going to show at the end. Love the protective covering here. I think that is vital to having realism in your park. Oh, and this is nice. It kind of goes over water, and you've also got oh, that's really cool. This is a great view. And you did Maddie's trick right there of setting the bamboo upside down. Sorry, I just hit my microphone, so if you heard a weird noise, that was it. We got to watch this first drop. And as the coaster is kind of coming down this first drop area, the description of this ride is Riptide is a B&M dive coaster, best ridden during the day. So let's kind of speed that up a little bit. All right, this view you get right here, waiting in this queue, is one of the best I've seen on any coaster in console, PC, anything, you name it. Like this is so well done. Wow. Like that is one of the greatest queue line areas with the coaster going beside it. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna have to do something like that at some point. Yeah, so let's go ahead and actually ride a coaster, because that's what we're actually here to do, is ride the coasters. So if, let's see. Oh, what happened? I hate that when you get that flip cam mode, it kicks you out. I was trying to do the trick that doesn't kick you out. But so now if we look at the stats, I mean, these are hard to get all green because of the fact that it kind of takes a while to actually get the coaster going. G-forces look phenomenal. Biggest drop, 159 feet, max speed 70 miles per hour. 4 inversions. Let's take a ride on the coaster. I think that was a phenomenal coaster, and I think the layout overall is really strong. There's one part I'm going to point out in a second. Well, I guess maybe this part would be included in that. But yeah, this was a really, really well done coaster, and it was really super smooth too. I think the only part that wasn't smooth was there's like a little bit right there that I would just smooth out a little bit more. It just kind of seemed to jerk for a second, and the only reason I'm actually saying that is because overall this coaster was really, really smooth, and so I think you did just a phenomenal job with that. And I think the only element I would have done differently would probably be this right here. Probably do some kind of like little helix or turnaround, just because I don't know if I've seen this on a dive coaster, and it's kind of fairly small to where with the 10 seat across cars, it could maybe cause some different forces than expected. And I think this is awesome. You did this custom. I think there's one or two things you could have done to adjust it a little bit, but you see how it kind of takes a little bit to kind of get steeper, because these normally get steep pretty quick coming out of that turn. And so at the end, I hope you don't mind, but I'm just going to show one quick tip that I would do on here as well. But as I said, I mean, absolutely love the coaster. I mean, the views are phenomenal. I mean, I want to ride this coaster in real life, because I just want to get in this queue and just stand here and take video clips of this coaster. Like, this is insane. And let me talk about the station, because I hadn't talked about the station yet. I really like it. Use the bookshelves over there. That's something I've seen a couple people, I feel like, start doing, that I think is a really good touch. And then I like obviously the coloring you use and using that chain link fence. I think it looks great, looks phenomenal. Absolutely love it. So now let's find a guest to hop back in Plipcam mode. Let's find Irma Dodd. I'm changing your name to Plipcam. Planet Plipcam. All right, so now let's head on to the next one. So that was Riptide. And love these planters as well. Looks really good. So now let's see. And I like how in this area you kind of kept the architecture with all the buildings the same, and you kept the trim the same throughout. I guess maybe the trim pieces are a little bit too large, or you've kind of doubled it up. But either way, I think it looks really good. So pass holder lounge. Ooh, there's a pass holders lounge. Henry's Diner. Yeah, very nice. Very well done. Ooh, what's this arrow going to? Ooh, pass holders. We got our own lounge, guys and gals. We got some screenshots there. We need a big TV to watch some sporting events or something. Ooh, what was this? Hold on. Fishing plus tour. This was unexpected. Oh, this is cool. Okay, you got a fishing tour. That's awesome. And you get views of this. I'm guessing this is the Speedboat coaster. This is cool. It looks like a launch up the lift hill. Yep. Really cool. That is awesome. I was not expecting that. I'm really glad I went in that building, or else I would never have known to check that out. It's funny, I just saw the arrows, like, oh, where do these arrows lead to? That is really well done, though. Drinks. Water is $1. Milk free. Look, I love milk. Oh my gosh, that is cheap soda. That is cheap soda. Burger $7, hot dog $6, fries $2. Man, I would love to go to your theme park. We could eat so cheap. We could eat so cheap at your theme park. That is really a beautiful ride in the game like that. But as I said in Insomniac's video, you cannot get me to do that. So powered by Elite Kryptonite. Pathos, I think is what it's called. Oh, that's normally the one that's colored purple, but you colored it white. That's really nice. So we got Speedboat. Once again, same kind of concept and style. With the buildings. Ooh, you got kind of shutters there. Is that right? Yeah. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, a nice touch for the water fountain, using the Kerbal or Corbel, whatever it's called. And then those, I think those are just pieces of coal on the side that are used to represent like the kind of the dial you turn. Really nice touch. And so I know that any advice I give, you're going to appreciate, just because you're definitely going for the realism, as I would. Just like, I would love any advice from you or anybody watching who checks out the park. And I love all the kind of custom planners you've made because that's absolutely realistic. So we got Speedboat, powered by Iron Maddie. Okay, so I guess maybe the powered by is just like giving shout outs to creators. So I guess, yeah, that's what it has to be. Giving a shout out to creators for each ride. So that's a really cool touch. I wish I'd figured that out earlier. I was so confused for a second. Ooh, love this queue covering. This is nice. Really nice. And I mean, I like how you kept the fencing consistent. So this says Speedboat is a custom launch coaster with no coordination to any real life manufacturer. This is just me having a bit of fun with my own custom coaster. Hey, no harm in doing that. When I made a launch coaster in my Three Towers park, gosh, this is a long queue. My goodness. Yeah, she looked tired. I don't blame you. Or he. Yeah, he. My bad. My bad. Looked tired. I don't blame you. With the launch coaster I made, I kind of took some Mac elements and took some Intimate elements. So there is nothing wrong with that. All right, so that's a trick on how you can get out of flip cam mode without actually. Well, I guess I'm still in flip cam mode. So now if you look here, you got DTE Speedboat. This is a launched torque coaster. So if you look at the results, G-forces for the vertical G is a little bit high. Let's go ahead and, so it's got 6 inversion, 6 airtime count. So let's hop on the coaster and go for a ride on Speedboat. All right, so that was not Riptide. Come on, I hate sometimes not forgetting which camera I'm in. Which, by the way, this plaza is really well done. Looks like part of it's on a grid and just kind of shaping the grid in different ways, which is a really cool kind of way to make a unique, realistic looking kind of walkway. Really, really well done. Love the buildings and love this kind of extended part. Really cool. Now with Speedboat, I think after this first part was a little too quick, in my opinion. And then you really redeemed yourself the rest of the way. This was a really good coaster. I think maybe just a tad bit too fast in some parts in general. Like maybe slow down this launch just a little bit. Because I know you had some trims right here just to kind of slow it down a little bit. But it was awesome. I think this part right here, I think you just got to slow down that launch. Or you can have it kind of launch a little bit, and then once it starts going uphill a little bit, then launch it again. Because right there, I think the G-forces are probably too much because it kind of goes up too drastically. Like it's not a gradual incline. And it was going a little bit too quick over this part. That's just my opinion, but this is a beautiful ride. Like the color scheme you chose on this, that kind of light blue and white is just, Actually, it's not even white at all. It's just a really, really light blue, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So let's hop back in flip cam mode. So maybe I'm just imagining things, but I swear, like, I didn't realize until afterwards. I think this name on this guest that I clicked on was Claire Baskin. Was that her name? The lady in the Tiger King Netflix series. Yeah, that was a strange one, to say the least. But on to the next, which once again, a really, really cool coloring. This kind of light purple or pink is just, once again, beautiful color scheme. Double Spire. So it says this is best looked at night. So let's change it to nighttime for this area. And ooh, very nice coloring. Maybe too much right there, just a little bit too bright. But once again, I love the lettering. I need to figure out what letters that is on the workshop because those are awesome. So I need to download those. Nice food spot. I maybe would have used a different ceiling piece just because they have kind of all these elevated ridges. A lot of people would probably trip. Just my opinion on that. Where is the queue? Tommy P. This is Tommy P's coaster. All right, so let's see. I probably shouldn't have had it zoomed in because you can't quite turn the camera as quick as you need to when it's zoomed in. There we go. That was a much better look. Once again, cool station. I like the roof this time. Color scheme is really good, and the lighting is awesome here in the station. Really, really well done. So let's go ahead, and there's really not much of a need to look at these stats for the impulse coaster. So we all know what an impulse coaster does. Yeah, so if you double click, I think I might have just said this on the last one. If you double click on the ride, it doesn't necessarily take you out of flip cam mode, but it allows you to click on something without being kicked back to where you entered flip cam mode at. So there we go. That was double Spire. And I mean, I like that. I mean, there's really not much you can do with those because it's just a basic ride. But the lighting scheme is awesome. And I mean, I do love the supports that come with it. And it's situated perfectly in this park where it gives a really kind of good look. So as we just to kind of see how everything looks at night. Ooh, that is lit up nicely with those blue lights. And then you got these yellow lights over here. So everything's lit up well, especially the paths and stuff. Parking lot lit up so the guests can feel safe walking back to their cars and stuff. Let's hop back in flip cam. Let's actually first let's go to daytime. Let's see, what's your name? Rebecca Albright. Gosh, I can never pronounce anything. And yet I am a teacher. Wonder how that happened. So, White Hawk. Okay, well, I guess we didn't have to go far to find the next coaster. Wish you were here. Let's see, wait time 45 minutes. We're going to skip the line because we're cool like that. Ooh, that's a really cool look. I've got to see how that looks with the coaster going up the lift hill. So this looks like maybe a GCI wooden coaster or a CCI, I guess. Depends on the first drop. Yeah, that's a really cool look. Once again, nice queue covering. It feels more of like a forest type ride. A lot more foliage and stuff around. And this kind of feels like one of the stations from your Lithic Mountains Park, if I'm remembering correctly. But let's go ahead and look at the stats for the coaster. Let's pause it. There you go. Oh, not meaning to click on her. Why does it not let me click on the... There we go. DTE White Hawk. So it's 75 feet, so it's more of a family-inspired wooden coaster. As it says, this is... Oh, I should have looked at the description they sent to me. A CCI family coaster. Best ridden during the day. So let's go ahead and hop on the coaster. So that was the family inspired or family CCI coaster. And I think it's a pretty nice little layout. I think it needed, there's one spot it just needed a little bit more smoothing. And, you know, honestly, I might turn the friction down, especially with it being a family car. I'm just really interested to see, or turn it up. So let's say we turn the friction up, because it kind of came to a halt at the end. So I just wonder what the difference is with this. And let's kind of see. Oh, you know what? We're not going to see right away because we got to let all the guest flow move. Yeah, while it's doing that, I do like the layout. I like how it's here in the middle, and it feels so different from everything else in the rest of the park because it feels very foresty. I think it's probably just going a little bit too fast as it kind of comes to a screeching halt at the end with, you know what? Now let's hop on this and see. Yeah, so in my opinion, that was a little bit better. Just turn down the friction a little bit because it's not a massive coaster, but after this first hill, there's not another hill that's at least half the height. So I feel like it just had way too much speed going into the end. But I think the layout is really, really nice and really fits for like a smaller family wooden coaster. So I think you did a great job, really good job with that. And, ooh, this is kind of a really unique tower here. That's really cool. So now we've got Ironwood Forest, and we'll just go ahead and stay out of flip cam mode for a second. Actually, you know what? What was this one? Powered by Unknown Games. Awesome. So this one's powered by MCon 269. Let's see. Powered by Planet Pipcam. Got Monte Leon. This little flat ride. That's a really cool flat ride, though. So I haven't talked to Plip too much recently. Hope you're doing well, Plipcam, if you're watching this video. So nice station here. I like the kind of cross beams going across. So that is a cool touch. Once again, the lettering is just awesome. Ooh, so we get to see, is that where the launch happens? So this is a family, I think it's Intamin family style launch coaster, the Motorbike. Because I know Intamin and Vekoma both make motorbikes. But this one's best ridden during the daytime. Yeah, this station is really cool. This might be my favorite of your stations. And it's just because of the kind of surrounding beams here. Or not beams, but the iron scaffolding post. So let's go ahead and let's pause it and we'll take a look at the stats. Oops. Yeah, so the results, lateral G's maybe a little bit too high, but G-forces look good. Max speed, it doesn't have any versions. I really like that coaster. So that was the Intamin style family coaster. And I think you did a great job with it. I think it does enough, especially this first kind of hill, to probably give you a little bit of air time on that. But then the rest, it really feels like you're kind of soaring on a motorbike. So I think we just got one coaster left. Let's go ahead and hop back into flip cam mode and get this HUD off the screen. So let's see. Okay, so now you can tell we're in a new part. This is Sunlight Boulevard. So we got a gift shop over here. Woo. So I think a lot of these items, are done by Tommy P again. So well done. And you know what? This park still has 14% to work with on a PS5. Like, this is a good sized park. Like, it's not massive, but it's a good sized park, has a lot of rides, and there's still so much more room for stuff. And so I'll have a little bit of ideas on that in a bit. So we got the Hammer Swing, which is PJB Studios. So he is a PC player. Does a great job. Oh, mini golf, $9 each. Pass holders, my goodness, becoming a pass holder is gives you so many perks. I haven't really seen mini golf too much on console, other than Albris did a little bit on one of his parks. But this is really well done. Really, really good job. Man, I've been saying for a long time, I need to do make like a golf course and Planet Coaster, and yet I still haven't done it. Maybe someday. Yeah, this is really cool. How many holes are there? Let's recount, shall we? Let's see. Is there a hole? Is this a hole? Hole 9-hole course. There we go. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like 7. Okay, that's still a good job. Unless I totally miscount. Yeah, he's got 1, 2. You can just count the flags, Michael. Why didn't you just count the flags? Yeah, 7 holes. And I like the fencing used here. I think you did a really good job with that. We got beverages, really cool buildings. I love the interaction here of the coaster kind of flying by. I mean, that dive coaster just gives a really beautiful view throughout the park. And I like how you've used kind of palm trees. Like, this almost gives me like a California vibe a little bit. Oh, that's a cool view of the lift hill and stuff. That's awesome. Absolutely love that. So we got lockers. I know these lockers are made by Tommy P, or at least inspired by Tommy B. This was another pass holder diner. So we can only go in here for a pass holder. Guess this is where we would sit. This is where we come get food. Is the food free if we're a pass holder? What's through the door? Okay, staff room. So now that was the lockers. You got another planter. I would maybe lower this planter just a little bit because I think it's just too high. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I think maybe just a little bit high, just a little bit too high for kind of what it is. Just kind of lower it halfway. So it says all items must be put in the locker. Ultraviolet. Hey, powered by M&J Games. What? These RMCs are my favorite coaster type. Although I will say, I was not impressed with the one single rail that I've ridden. But they're really, is their restraints. The restraints sucked. Let me just say that. Here we are. Ooh, this is a cool station. This is unique. We'll definitely have to see the aerial view of this. But let's go ahead and check out the stats. This is called DTE Ultraviolet. Green stats all across the board. Vertical G is definitely a little bit high. Maybe I can kind of point out where that's at. Max speed, biggest drop. So let's go ahead. Oh, 4 inversions. So I'll see you after the coaster. I think the name Ultraviolet was perfect for that coaster because the lighting that you kind of embedded inside the track was absolutely beautiful as it just gave it this kind of like shiny look the whole time, as that was awesome. So I got to keep zoomed out so that the screaming of the fans isn't too crazy. Of course, that's got to be my favorite coaster because it was dedicated to M&J Games. But no, it was a fantastic coaster. I think the only thing was right there, maybe kind of tried to over smooth some pieces to kind of prolong the kind of turnout of that zero G roll. And I don't know why the in-game zero G rolls have such a drastic, like steep incline like that, because you don't really see any in real life like that. But absolutely love this coaster. I think you did a great job. Maybe lost a little bit of speed here near the end, but just the views are great. And it's either that one or the Riptide. I think it was called Riptide. Yeah, Riptide coaster that were my favorite. But so last little look here as we kind of look. We got Jerry's Grab and Go. So another little food shop with those water fountains, which is nice. And then we got slushies here. This is a cool building. That's a cool look. So it's not necessarily rounded. It's just these pieces are here to kind of cover up some of the where it's not connecting perfectly, because obviously it's really tough to make buildings like that in the game. But this is really, really well done. As I said, I love the architecture that you've done here. And okay, see, I love what you did here with this, because now I might not have made it. Oh, you did a temple column. Okay, that's different. I haven't seen that before. I might make it like a gray. I think gray might work a little bit better than black, or even like a darker gray. So like if you were to color all this, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good color. Not that black's bad. I just think usually kind of it's more like a gray color to kind of separate the two areas. So that was actually one of my suggestions. So like you did it right here too, which is good. I think it was right there you did it. I I think it was right here, because of the path kind of changing like this. I would have just done something where I kind of use that to kind of cover up the spots where you can see that the path is changing. As I said, like, absolutely, I love this park. This is so well done. You've done such an amazing job. And like I said, it's really not a massive park, but you're still got 14% to work with, and you've got a lot of rides, a lot of coasters. You've really honored a lot of the people in the community by naming rides after them. And this entrance is just awesome. I need to go back on your YouTube channel because it's been a little bit, so I apologize for that. So I need to go back and check out some of the stuff you posted there. So a couple things I wanted to point out, and by the way, thank you guys so much for watching. And as I said, make sure to go check out Diamondite's YouTube channel, as it is, to see a lot of the amazing content he's putting up there. Now, this is where I'm just going to go over some tricks and stuff that I use. And so for here, let me see if I can actually, let's see if I can select everything. So I'm trying to see. All right. And the reason I'm doing this, and you'll see in a second, is let's see. Okay, I think that's it. 8. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these together, and I'm going to shift them. Let's see. There we go. So by doing this, which I might have changed something else, if so I apologize, but just by doing this, what it does is it gives it more of a recessed lighting look. So just in my opinion, that's what I like doing, instead of having some of the outside portions show. And then, let's see, also another thing I was going to do is, if we click on, let's turn it to night. All right, so see, we've got those 8 objects. Let's see, edit scenery group. Okay, so I guess I'm clicked on something earlier that wasn't part of that group. So it's a little bit too bright in here, right? So what I do is, so you've got it as a basic white. I go a little bit darker with it. And the reason why is because it doesn't make it overly bright. So then you could also put another row on this side. And so that's just what I usually tend to do with it, kind of try to go darker. I mean, it still gives off that white light, but it's not way too bright, if that makes sense. Like I said, just such a good job overall with this park. I love it. Same thing I would do in the station with the lights is, now another thing that you can do with lights in the station, and I'm actually going to go to this station for it because there aren't any lights in this station that I can remember, is, let's go turn this to nighttime. Let's go lights, camera, action. So these firehouse floodlights are phenomenal. So like what you can do is you can turn it down a little bit this way. And you can use it, you can keep it that color if you want. And so look, just that one light, look how much light that gives off compared to it not being there, right? You could have one turn the other way if you want to for the queue or for the people waiting in line, or what you could actually do is, gosh, I hate how this, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So you don't want to necessarily have it be right there, because that might be too much light. But if you have it over here, which it's not, Yeah, sometimes I hate how the world axis is not perfect. It's still not where it needs to be because it's not actually on a grid, so it kind of messed up the system. But then you can see now it covers that light over there. So these lights are awesome to use in a station because they're small, they're not bulky, but they actually illuminate a lot because a lot of the lights in this game do not actually are kind of suck. Like they're really not that great in terms of actually lighting stuff up. And the lights I like to use here because it's just for me, everybody's their own. For me, it's a pet peeve when I see like, lights just floating or lights kind of that aren't necessarily as realistic. And I know you go for super realistic as well. I like using these lights. They don't give off a ton of light, but they're perfect for. But they're perfect. Like they look close enough to what lights you'd have going up the coaster, those beacon lights, whatever they're called. And then, so obviously you don't keep it red. You turn it white. And then you put one on the other side in the same spot. Oops, hold on. And they don't give off near as much light as you have, so it doesn't look as good as the blue you have, but it gives off something, right? I mean, once again, like I said, just turn down the toning on those lights. But man, this queue is just awesome. Like so well done. So well done. Let me pause this for a second. There's one thing I want to edit on here to kind of show you. So, and like I said, hopefully this is okay that I'm kind of doing this to try to give some hints and stuff. So this part right here, what I would do differently is, so that's not a custom piece. That's why. Okay. So what you can actually do is you can actually do a loop pretty easily. So it's not too tough to make it. So you can do like that. Something like this. I can't remember exactly how tall it was. So then when you get here, what you're going to do is actually, you know what you would do? As you're going up on your loop, you would maybe turn just a tad bit this way. And you would just do it one time turned. So then when you get here, you then straighten it out. And you can have it as like 2.5. This might be too large of a loop. And then you can go down to 45, and then you can start start turning out of that. And I mean, obviously it doesn't necessarily connect perfectly, but then you would just go through and smooth that out, smooth out. So you can smooth like 3 pieces at a time. And sometimes I'll take this whole part and kind of smooth that out since that's the whole loop part. And if we were to test this, it's not going to be perfectly smooth because I haven't smoothed it out a lot. But the idea with this is because you're doing it custom, you're not bound to the restraints that the non-custom pieces have in terms of how it enters and exits that specific inversion. And you can kind of turn it a little bit. And a lot of people do stuff differently with how they approach it, but that's just the way that I like to go about it. Wow, I'm actually shocked at how smooth that was coming out of that part right there. So that's kind of my suggestion because that looks a little bit more natural with the kind of loop portion of it. But as I said, I mean, you did such an amazing job with this coaster and this whole ride. Just this whole park, man, just phenomenal. I'm trying to think if there are any other little tips that I had. Which I know I had some somewhere. Let's see. Oh yeah, I talked about the ceiling in there. Oh yeah. So let's see what terrain tools you got. So one thing that I've started doing oh no, you don't have it. Never mind. We could just do this one right now. So instead of having like the grass underneath there, you can do that to kind of turn and rock. But if you get one of the like the dead grass, not the dead grass that's in the deciduous, I think, that's like looks like brown grass, or the one that kind of has flowers. That will actually give the look of mulch from far away. So that's what I would kind of do to kind of color this interior portion. Now, the last little bit that I want to talk about is looking at the terrain. Because I'm not great with terrain either. I'm trying to get better, and I feel like I did get a lot better on Wild Winds. But the tool that I like to use is the flatten the foundation. And so I'm just going to enlarge this to as large as it can go. And so what I like to do is just by pressing X, essentially, and kind of swiping it, it kind of creates these ridges. And so what that's going to do is that's going to create some more natural kind of plains and natural kind of hills. And so what I'm trying to do is trying to get away from having, which this back portion doesn't really matter, but just trying to get away from having these kind of a little bit less natural looking hills. And now you don't have to do it this way. I'm sure there are better ways to do it because I am by no means an expert on this. I just wanted to show you what I've kind of learned as, I learned a fair amount trying to make that suspended coaster ride that I made, just because those things are all about the woods and all about hills and just stuff like that. Because if you get it to where it's not too steep, when you smooth it out, it actually takes on the look of grass instead of the kind of more rocky terrain. So then what you do is you go and you kind of smooth it out. And you can keep working with it until you get it how you want. But, it just kind of makes a little bit more of like these kind of natural ridges and stuff. Like there's different ways to approach it. That's kind of a quick way that I like to kind of start. So then I would just continue doing that. What I might do is I might delete these sets of trees right here, and I might try to kind of get it to where it's going to be ultimately level out and flatten out. But that's just kind of a quick tip that I had with this. And at that, I believe that's everything. And so make sure to go check out, this is called Diamond Towers. So make sure to go check out Diamondite on YouTube. I was like I said that weird because I was like double thinking. I'm like, okay, I pronounced that right, didn't I? So my bad, man. But absolutely love this park. Like I said, all the links you need are in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.